Junkie Nation, one of your favorites, one of our favorites is back. Brendan Loughnane, the 2022 PFL featherweight champion, and now a member of the 2023 regular season, joins us back here on Junkie Radio. He's coming off a big win over Marlon Moraes a few weekends ago. The leg kicks got it done. Brendan, congrats on that win. Very impressive. In fact, at the end of the fight, I could hear Marlon. The mics weren't picking it up, but I could just see him saying, dude, you got yourself some leg kicks. Like, you got quite a game. And why that stands out to me is he's over at American Top Team, and that's one of the gyms that excels at leg kicks. So you must have thrown something at him that he not only is used to, but something that's high level, because at least that's what it looked like to me, that he was very complimentary of your leg kicking and your overall game.
Yeah, he did. He did actually say that. I'm surprised you picked that up, really. Nobody else has mentioned that, but he was like, damn, bro. He's like, you kick hard. And I was like, I know. Like, even like some of my sparring partners in Thailand, like for the last camp, like I was kicking them with shin pads on. And like they weren't walking for a week at a time. And they were like, bro, like you're going to have to stop kicking me in sparring. It's literally getting to that level now. I mean, who's got better low kicks in MMA than me right now? Like, look at what I did to Bubba's leg. Look what I did to Wade's leg. Look at what I did to Marlon's leg. Like, I'm claiming the leg kick king right now.
I love it. You should. So let's talk about that. The game evolves, okay? The game constantly evolves, and the technique can actually evolve. Maybe you don't want to give your secrets away. Maybe you don't give a fuck, and you will. I don't know. But what do you think you're doing? Are you just maybe cutting at a different angle? Are you mixing it up? Because you were mixing it up. It's not like you were just chopping one way. So what do you think it is? Or do you just maybe generate good speed? Are you a guy that just has maybe fast twitch, but more on the lower leg?
I spent years doing these low kicks to the thighs and hurting people with them. And then you're right, the game did evolve and people started kicking lower leg. And then I was like, oh shit, like there's actually no muscle at the bottom of the leg. It's just all ankle. So let's just try kicking there. And then ever since I started kicking there, the rest is history, really. So yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, impressive. And you took out now a name that, like you said, hey, you also wanted to start connecting with some of the more well-known names, established names. You got that. How do you feel right now? Now you're taking on a guy who's coming off a loss in Pinedo. I'm not sure if it's how they do it over there, how they make the schedule, but the schedule is the schedule. What are your thoughts on your next opponent now? It's coming up here. You're headlining the next set of fights in Atlanta, June 8th. ESPN is a Thursday, folks. You got to check it out. ESPN and ESPN Plus has you covered.
How do I feel about it? I mean, I watched his fight. I actually don't think he lost the fight. It was a split decision, and I thought he did enough to win, but you know how them split decisions go. He is a 6-foot southpaw. He is 20-6. He's been in the UFC, fought McDessie and a few other guys. He's fought up 55 in the UFC, so good level, fought good guys. Got 20 wins behind him, a lot of KOs, good striker. So I'm guessing it could make for an exciting fight, but it could be another early night. Who knows?
Yeah. If not for a split decision, you haven't lost since 2017. And if not for that split decision, you haven't lost since 2015. And if not for that split decision, you haven't lost in over a decade. So, yes, I understand what you mean about, I know how split decisions go. You ever think of that, by the way? Just, hey, look, someone might have hung an L on me, but I was right there. No one's stopping this freight train. Like I'm like I say, you're a beast, man. You're a beast right now, and I'm not sure not too many people know about that.
No, bro, listen, I literally did an interview just before your one, and they were like, there's a possibility that you could be 30-1. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Imagine the conversations then, being 30-1. I also went 7-0 as an amateur. Like, we'd be in a totally different conversation right now, wouldn't we, if them things would have went my way. I 100% beat Tom Duquesnoy that night. I 100% beat Pat Healy. Mike Wilkinson, okay, that was close. Movlid, he beat me comfortably. Like, I know it was a split, but Movlid beat me. So, like, you know, I'm not bitter. I'm very honest. And yeah, we could be looking at 30-1, gentlemen.
Yes. Yeah, it's very impressive. Brendan Loughnane, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. One more from me, and I'll turn it over to Goes. Um, I know you're going to say, hey, I got this, but maybe go out of your way to convince me. You win in Vegas, see you in LA, Miami, Manchester. Now you're in Thailand. And remember, these are quick turnaround fights. Man. In June, early June, you're back here in the States in Atlanta. You're young. You can do this. You obviously, we just went over it. You could be 30-1, man. You got this. But still, that travel, bro, that's incredible. It's crazy. How do you do it? How can you do it? The acclimatation. I went to Japan once with Goes to call some fights. It was easy. We got there. I was a little sick, had some tea. We called the fights. I mean, come on, we're calling fights. And then the next day they showed us around. We come back, but guess what? The next 4 days acclimating to the time was horrific. So how do you do it, especially when you got to get all this training in? You got to watch your calories. How do you do it?
I'm guessing it's the gypsy inside me. You know, I like traveling. But, I mean, you know, Vegas, Miami, and LA, that was all within 1 week. So that was just a quick turnaround. Then I went back to Manchester, began training for like 10 days with my coach and stuff and seeing family, but I was also training. And now I've landed in the business end of the camp. I've got 5 weeks straight in Thailand. Weight's good, mind's good, no injuries from the last fight. And yeah, man, I don't know. This is just how I've always done it. I know it's not off the script, and this is not how you would tell anybody else to do it, but this is just the remedy and the method that works for me.
Brendan, the night of your victory, how do you feel everybody else did in the division? Did anybody stand out? Did they impress you at all?
The only person that stood out to me was Bubba Jenkins. He looked really good against Chris Wade. Apart from that, not really, no. And that's just being honest.
Hypothetically, are there ever any moments? I know you have your opponent in front of you, but when you're hitting them, do you ever see Movlid's face? Does that ever pop in for a second?
Not really, no. I'm just hoping that the stand-ins for the semis are going to lie where I actually get him in the final. I would rather fight him over 5 rounds this time. I'm a 5-round fighter, and I just feel like I've got massive advantages in the 4th and 5th. So I'm hoping that I get him over 5, but if I have to do it over 3, I'm not mad at that either.
I'm
You're
sure
gonna fight for free?
What's that?
You're gonna fight for free?
Never. My price tag's high now.
It sounded like you said if I have to do it for free or something like that.
No, if I have to do it over 3 rounds.
Yeah, no, I'm just bullshitting. Remember we were joking around at the studio. You guys got that cute little, I'm going to replace the TH with an F. That throws me off sometimes.
Hey Brennan, overall, I'm sure when you came into this, you had one mindset. But once you get that first fight done, did anything change? Did anything feel different? Did this season change its theme a little bit for you?
I think Teddy Atlas said, when you become a champion, you become 30% better immediately. And I believe him now. I think you just believe in yourself more and like your confidence. And I don't know. I believe that I am the champion, and I believe that this year I'm going to defend it and take another one home.
Yeah, and we also discussed that at the studio that it's unfair in a way because a lot of your fighters we kind of add to your legacy by talking about title defenses. One could claim that you just had one. You're the former champ. They list it as a season and a playoff, and then we turn the page. But one could think of it that way because as I handled the rankings at USA Today Sports and MMA Junkie, as you well know, and for Kayla Harrison, you talk about, well, how is she versus Chris and Larissa and Nunes, and with them, you can always lean on, well, these title defenses, but then you look at Kayla and what she did for a while, man, you got to tip your hat and consider that in a way, because no matter what, you got the target on you. Maybe you're not actually walking in with the belt, maybe the belt's not on the line, but something still needs to be done about that because guys like yourself, the ones that are really excelling at PFL and are turning out to be pretty special, we're going to build cases as why we think you guys are possibly the best featherweight current ever at some point as the promotion builds its history. So think of it as a title defense. You just had one, and you got another one coming up here in a few weeks.
No, you guys got me fired up by telling me that when we did our interview just before the fight, and that's why I said it after the fight. I was like, that was my first title defense, and I'm letting the public know, like, yeah, like that was my first. This is my second, third, and then on the fourth one, they're going to give me another belt.
Exactly. The next one, folks, happens on June 8th in Atlanta, Georgia. PFL starts their regular season again. And this one is a Thursday event, folks, at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can watch the fights on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Brendan, as always, thank you for the time. I'm glad we were able to connect. You out in Thailand, we got up early to do this, but we had no problem doing it. You're one of our favorites, brother.
Thank you, guys. Take care.